the list that I have here of the 52 cities that are on the list anyway, 52nd being the safest for pedestrians, number 1 being the most dangerous. I noticed that the most dangerous are warm weather communities in places like California, a lot of them down in Florida, Las Vegas, for example, a couple of in Arizona, and the safest are Pittsburgh among them, but in addition to Pittsburgh, the New York metro area, Cleveland, and Boston. Does that surprise you?
No, that doesn't surprise me. The cities that you mentioned as being among the safest, including Pittsburgh, are the older cities in our nation that have had been built on a smaller scale, more mixed use going back for centuries, and they already have the pedestrian infrastructure like sidewalks and crosswalks that are the basis for creating a climate for safe pedestrian access.
So these warm weather communities, if you go to cross the street, sometimes you're crossing 6 lanes of highway traffic.
Right, and those are the kind of streets that are the most dangerous for pedestrians, which is also what this report points out, the wide, high-speed arterial streets. And it recommends ways that these streets can be made more pedestrian-friendly to reduce these deaths.
Yeah, but these ways that you're talking about, this infrastructure improvement that would make it safer for pedestrians, costs money, and we don't have any money.
Well, you're right. It does cost money, but it's I think part of it is how we're using the existing money we have. For example, here in Pennsylvania, we don't use any of the money from the Federal Highway Safety Improvement Program on pedestrian infrastructure. Now, this money has been used to reduce the deaths of motorists, but we think that it should be used to ensure the reductions of all modes, pedestrians, bicyclists, motorcyclists, and with the decrease in pedestrian fatalities lagging behind the reduction in motor vehicle deaths, we really think that the state should spend some of these safety funds on pedestrian issues. What
about the pedestrians and bicyclists and the like? And I happen to be a bicyclist, by the way. I ride my bike into work every day and home. We should be just more careful, don't you think?
Well, that is part of it. Everyone who's out using the road needs to ensure that they're taking safety precautions and are responsible for themselves. But the part of the problem is that we've designed our roads primarily to move vehicles instead of people, and we need to ensure that when we're building roads or rebuilding roads that all users of that road can safely use it.
Are you getting a sympathetic ear from politicians in Harrisburg, for example, or in Congress in Washington?
Some recognize that this is important, that bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure is really a good bang for your buck in terms of the amount of money it costs to build this type of infrastructure is small. For what it would cost to build a single urban highway mile, an entire network can be built throughout a city.
Okay. It occurred to me that, you're with an organization, Pennsylvania Walks and Bikes, and you're encouraging people to walk and use their bike, be energy efficient, reduce the amount of traffic and pollution and so forth. And actually, you're sending these people out to their deaths, horrible deaths at the hands of motorists who are running them down at intersections. I'm just being facetious, of course, but you know what I mean.
I understand, but
you don't feel guilty. You don't feel guilty about it. You don't feel guilty about it, huh?
No, I don't think that the risks of walking or biking are very different from the risks of driving in an automobile, which a lot of times we take for granted the number of deaths that occur in our motor vehicles, but we just view that as a necessity of life.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see what happens here. I guess you're going to continue to lobby for more money for infrastructure improvements that makes it better or safer for people who walk and bike. We'll see how it shakes down. Josh, listen, thanks a lot for talking with us, and thanks for putting up with me.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Okay, Josh Karns on the live line, local partner with an organization called Transportation for America. He's director of Pennsylvania Walks and Bikes.